What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone? How y'all doing today? Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Let me know if my mic is good. Let me know how I'm sounding. Let me know if my mic is good. Let me know if I'm good to go. Salute. Okay, cool. What's going on, Israel? How you doing today? All right, I'm gonna come on. I came on a little early today. I'm gonna do a little show for y'all today. I'm not gonna be on too long. Probably do like an hour. I'm gonna take some calls too, so y'all can we could talk about Isaiah Land. You know, he just decided to stay in the SWAC, which is great news. I'm happy to hear that. We'll talk about Amisha Williams holiday too. We'll talk about anything in the SWAC that y'all want to talk about. I'm not gonna try to do a long show today, but we definitely gonna chop it up. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on just a second. All right. So let's get started. So if y'all ain't heard the news yet, Isaiah Land has decided to stay at FAMU. Now, I am happy to hear this. I'm so glad that he decided to stay, man, because I was really, really upset that he entered the transfer portal. Like, and I know we shouldn't be upset about, a kid doing what's best for him, but I just hated what that would have done to the SWAC, the kind of precedent it would have set. We want to be able to keep our kids in the SWAC and put them into the NFL from the SWAC. We don't want them to feel like they have to go to a Power 5 just to go to the NFL. The mission is to get them to the NFL from the SWAC. Mr. G said it may have been Coach Prime's speech that changed his mind. I hope so. I know I've been posting a lot of stuff on Twitter, so maybe somebody sent something that I posted on Twitter as well. Cause I've been going in. I just don't like stuff like that. I just feel like we need to be able to get our kids to the NFL from the SWAC. They shouldn't have to feel like they have to go to the old schools to make it. It's so much better that he stays. Yeah, just think about it. I understand what he was thinking, that, hey, Marquise Bell didn't get drafted. Maybe I need to go somewhere so I can have a better chance. But I think in his situation, it's going to be totally different. He's an edge guy. He plays a totally different position from Marquise Bell. So I think he'll have an easier time. Well, not an easier time, but it'll just be better for him to get to the NFL in his position. All he has to do is just dominate this year. Do what he's been doing, and I think he's going to be fine. Good for him, FAMU and Willie Simmons. We need the competition. The SWAC got to rise as one. Yeah. And to the coaching staff, what does that say to a coaching staff that develops you into the superstar player that you are today, and you go to another program, a Power 5 program, and go to the NFL from them? They're not going to give any of the SWAC coaches any credit. They're not going to give Willie Simmons any credit for developing you. So I'm glad that he stayed at FAMU, so those coaches can really reap the benefits of putting him in the SWAC. Putting him in the NFL whenever his time comes. What's going on, Miss Ivy too? How you doing? I came in early on y'all today, huh? Yeah, in other news, man, one sad thing that happened, Amisha Williams' holiday got cut by the Indiana Fever. This, to me, man, I was really sad to see this, but I kind of seen this coming. If you kind of watch the Indiana Fever, the way they post on social media, they wasn't really posting her like that. And I didn't really like the way that they were treating her, as far as, you know, the way they were posting their players on social media. Like, they would barely post anything of her, but they'll have, you know, Henny and all these other girls, they'll be posting them all the time. So I kind of seen like, okay, she may not make the team, but her journey is not over. She can go overseas and then come back into the WNBA later, or another team can pick her up. So things that go as planned, like we thought they were, but, you know, it'll be all right. She'll be okay. But yeah, I'm really happy that Isaiah Land is staying in the SWAC, man. That's what we need. We need everybody. We need all our players to stay in the SWAC and go to the NFL from the SWAC. We don't need to be jumping ship to the Power 5 and all this other kind of stuff. But I'm going to open up the phone lines. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Because I think... 1 second. WNBA also got money issues. They need to increase the roster size, and damn top 10 pick got cut. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, they cutting top 10 picks. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's the point of having a draft if you're going to be cutting people? That makes no sense to me. You know, I just didn't understand that at all. Some people suggested that they need a G League. I mean, that'll work. A G League will work, but I think they probably don't need to have a draft every year. I don't think they need to have a draft every year. I'm trying to put my graphic up here, y'all. Hold on just a second. Let me get this up here. Oh. She'll make more overseas. Yeah, they make way more money overseas. I think with Indiana more so than the WNBA. Yeah, I mean, I just hate that, you know, we had a HBCU athlete get drafted and then they got cut. That really hurt me, because I wanted to see her go in and play and really represent. But you know how they do sometimes. It's just how it is. Multiple stars come out and said they need to increase the roster size or create 2 or 3 expansion teams, but I don't watch WNBA for real, so I don't know if that's feasible. The only reason why I was going to watch the WNBA this year was because of Amisha Williams. So they cutting people that's going to bring people to the game and, you know, watch the game. Because I'm definitely like, oh, whatever now. You know, even though I like Henny, I want to watch her too, but I really was excited that Henny and Amisha was on the same team. I definitely would have been checking it out, but what the WNBA will say is we don't make enough money to support the teams we currently have, let alone start a G League. But the NBA pays for everything though, right? Isn't the NBA financing the WNBA, if I'm not mistaken? If that's the case, then they should be okay with starting the G League, because they got to do something. You can't have I think the 4th pick from the draft last year, she got cut. You can't have people like that getting cut. You can't have a 4 pick getting cut. That's crazy. Land found out about the $90,000 bag that the Cowboys gave Bill and decided to turn back around. Shoot. I mean, I was hearing that he was thinking about going to Texas. Like, I mean, Texas. I guess Texas is gonna have Quinn Ewers. I think that's his name, Quinn Ewers. So they're gonna get a lot of attention this year. But I mean, nobody got drafted from Texas, so I think he did right staying put. FAMU is gonna put him in the NFL, so I think he did right. So Survivor said Isaiah Land. Yeah, man, I'm glad to see he stayed. That's exactly what we need. We need our players staying. You know, you got players like Deshaun Warren coming out next year. We need players like that staying in the SWAC so they can go to the NFL from the SWAC. Yeah, I'm gonna put the number up in just a second. I'm trying to put the graphic on this on my stream. Hold on just a second, y'all. I can't speak on any other P5 teams, but I work for On 3 Sports, and Auburn pulled back because his credits wouldn't transfer. Oh. That that's interesting right there. So you said his credits wouldn't transfer. That's interesting. Those old heads to move on. They have overseas jobs. Let these rookies get in. Yeah, they need to get those dinosaurs out of the WNBA, man. Like, come on. Let those new rookies get some PT, get some playing time. The XFL is another option too. Yeah, the XFL is gonna be. They're gonna be doing the showcase for HBCUs too. They're probably gonna cut to Jackson State. All right, let me put the number on the screen, y'all. Hold on just a second. All right, there's the number. The phone lines are open if you want to call in, get your thoughts on this Isaiah Landstand at FAMU. You can call in, get your thoughts out. You can talk about Amisha Williams Holiday, whatever you want to talk about in the SWAC. Concerning the SWAC, y'all can call in and talk about it. Not gonna be on too late tonight. I'm going to see Doctor Strange tonight, so I'm doing a quick show for y'all. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. These old heads need to move on. Did anyone join Warren Newman in the CFL? I think there was another player from the SWAC that went to the CFL. I can't remember his name. I seen the post on Twitter today. I can't remember his name. On another note, I think you got a good receiver in Daz Washington from Miami. Coach Simmons and staff made him, but now he thinks he's too good for FAMU. I think what it was, I think he got scared when he seen Marquise Bell didn't get drafted. I think that scared him because he was like, man, I want to make it to the NFL. I don't want to, waste my time and not get drafted. So I think that kind of scared him into jumping in that portal. I got a call coming in, y'all. Hold on just a second. Hey, Israel, let me turn the music off just a minute. Hold on just a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, you live on the air now.
Yeah, how you been doing, brother?
I've been doing good, man. Maintaining.
That's good. I'm actually glad that Isaiah Land is staying. Whether he wants to or not, I just think it's better for him. I mean, he's got a lot of people looking at him, and I think he's going to go really high next year. And also, I think it's just good for the university because, let's be honest, FAMU needed some good news. So if Isaiah Land is staying at FAMU, I think that's a good thing, not only for the university, but for his team and for the SWAC. I mean, it makes it more interesting and gets more viewers to look at it.
Okay.
As far as Amisha, go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you think about people saying this probably was just a thing for him to get his name hot? He wasn't really ever going to leave.
I mean, that could be true, but I actually think he kind of panicked a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole Bell thing. I just think he kind of got a little anxious, jumped the gun, and I think a couple people probably pulled him aside and had a conversation with him, but I just think he was just kind of panicking a little bit and then realized what was best for him after a while. As far as Amisha, I mean, I think the WNBA has always been kind of suspect with regard to how they draft. But I am happy that Amisha at least has a team of people around her, including Coach Tamika Reed, that will look out for her. And I think, she's got a bright future and something good is going to happen with her very shortly. So, but yeah, it's good to hear you back on the air, man. You've been gone for a minute.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Also, I was about to, I forgot my train of thought. So, do you think
Yeah,
what
it'd be
round?
interesting to hear
What
Mr.
round?
Ford's take.
What round do you think Isaiah Land is going to go in when he goes into the draft? If you was to guess.
Um, I think I could see him going in the third or fourth round. To be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can
I
see
think
that
he'll
too.
be no lower than 4.
Okay. All right. I appreciate the call. I got another call on hold, so I'm gonna
All
get
right, man.
them. All right. Thank you for the call.
All right, I'll be
All right.
listening.
All right.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, chilling. It's Jay. Yeah, I was. Thanks for taking the call. First of all, peace to the chat. I think this is good publicity, and on another side, controversy sells. I think it's a lot of cap because you got to stir controversy to draw attention, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, our society, that they focus on that type of drama. And I think one thing with this, like, if you've been an athlete, we always had these conversations like, shoot, I'll be on the practice squad and make that 100,000 a year to be on the practice squad and X, Y, and Z. But what you notice with undrafted players, when they ball out, they get the second contract faster
Yeah.
than the guys that get drafted in the first round. So if you play your cards right and you ball out, I mean, you go undrafted. I don't know how long the contract is for, but that second contract may come up faster, and then they get that second bag faster than other players. If you remember Jeff Green, that used to play for the Mavericks, who came out of Wake Forest. He balled out, and he got that second bag faster than some of the first rounders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense though,
So
because they're kind of missing out on all that money, and then they're putting up the same production as these draft picks. So you want to pay them, you want to give them their worth. So it makes sense.
exactly. But I think we need to understand, like, with the HBCUs, we got to understand it's going to be a transition period, because now more and more players are going to the HBCUs. We got to understand that it's going to take maybe 3 years before that attention starts to really, really pick up in the HBCU scene, and they got to deal with that. But as long as they ball out, man, they'll make their money.
Yeah. So have you heard the situation where Coach Prime commented about the high school coaches, kind of
Yeah.
being
Oh,
funny towards HBCU coaches when they go to look at their players?
nah, I didn't hear that one.
Oh, okay. Well, he came out and said that uh, when FCS coaches and HBCU coaches go to these high schools, the high school coaches, they have their picks of players that they want them to talk to. So if a player is supposed to go to a Power
Yeah.
Five school, he's talented enough to go to a Power Five school. He doesn't want them. He doesn't want the HBCUs and the FCS schools talking to them. So he kind of called
Mm.
them out on that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean but that happens. So he mentioned before that anybody could be a 4 or 5 star. He said he can make a call and he could get somebody to be a 5-star recruit. But the thing is, depending on the school you go to, you can't control if your coach is really going to back you. Like, I'm older now. I played high school sports, and like we never got promoted by our coaches. We would find that letters was in the lockers or whatever. Like, they never was promoting us, even though people was asking about it. So I don't see anything changing. You know what I mean?
That's
But as
crazy to
far
me.
as, I think what we
I said that's crazy to me that a coach would put a kid's letter. He would throw it in the trash, not tell the kid. That's
yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah,
Like, that's selfish.
it happens. But you know something? Bro? It's like COVID is a great example of how parents need to really get back in control of their children's lives, like homeschooling. Everybody was forced to do homeschooling over COVID. So now if you got a student athlete, you know what I mean, you got the internet today, your kid might have a social media account with a lot of followers, then y'all need to form a team, and like, y'all need to control that instead of letting the high school or like these scouts or whatever control the narrative for your kid. You could do your own promotion now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got Rivals, you got all these other little platforms where you can upload content. You could take videos of your son with your cell phone or buy a camera. I mean, we need to take control of the whole pipeline of your kid getting promoted and going wherever you choose for them to go. Because I've been saying, like, to myself and to friends, like, look, the HBCUs will pop off if we just get the TV contracts to come to the HBCUs. And the only way you're going to get the TV contracts to come to the HBCUs is with the big time players. So if the kids can understand that, then like Jackson State got the facilities upgraded because they got Prime in there. So you got Eddie George, you got my guy over there at Grambling.
Hugh Jackson.
The more coaches come, the more players come, then the money's gonna come. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we need to fix. That's what we need to see instead of like hyping, like following a trend. We need to set the trend. Like, at the end of the day, we need to set the trend. Coach Saban is not Coach Saban without all them cats from the South going to Alabama. Period. Like, he's nothing.
That's true.
So,
yeah, that's true. I mean,
I ain't gonna hold you.
No, you good. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah, y'all. I just think that's crazy that a coach would throw a recruit's letter away when colleges are reaching out to them. That's crazy to me. Like, that's so selfish. So it's definitely important for the parents to get, to go get in the know of what's going on with your kid. Do not be in the background and depend on the high school coaches, because that's not what's good for the kid right now, because these coaches are selfish. They're taking kickbacks and things like that. So y'all really need to really know what's going on with y'all child when it comes to recruiting. Our children are cash cows for them. Yeah, that's what it is. Phone lines are open. Phone number 657-390-4814. Y'all want to call in, get your opinions out. Isaiah Land is staying at FAMU, staying in the SWAC. So that's a great thing. We don't have to worry about somebody jumping to the Power 5 and going to the NFL from there. And, us not getting the credit for that. You know how they do anyway. You know what the NFL was doing when James Houston got drafted. They posted his Florida highlights. Like, come on. Then they wanted to say, oh, it was the intern. It was the reporter. He didn't have the clearance to get the Jackson State highlights. Whatever, man. Whatever. I don't believe that at all. Come on now. But yeah, we need our players to stay in the SWAC and go to the NFL from the SWAC. But yeah, phone number 657-390-4814 if y'all want to call in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm really ready to see this FAMU versus Jackson State game. I think that's going to be the game of the season. I hope that fans pack that stadium out. I think 40,000 or 50,000. If we get 40,000 or 50,000 in Miami, that would be a great look for the SWAC. So yeah, I'm really anticipating this game. I might go. I'm not sure yet. I know I'm going to the Campbell game Jackson State is playing, and I'm going to the Southern game Jackson State is playing. I'm gonna stay at home that whole week, so I'm definitely going to those games. But I think that FAMU game is gonna be one for the ages. I want to go to the Grambling game as well. The Grambling versus Jackson State game is gonna be great. FAMU versus Jackson State is gonna be great. Man, we're going to have some great games this season. Everybody is rising up in the SWAC. Everybody's recruiting well. They're getting good players. So the level of play in the SWAC is just going up and up. Make sure y'all hit that like button so the stream can get out to more people. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Not going to do a long show tonight. Just came on to chop it up with y'all. You know how we do over here. If Dumas go to SU, they gonna be nice. Yeah, he entered the portal too. You think he's gonna stay in the SWAC? I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna stay in the SWAC though. I'm pretty sure all the other SWAC coaches are gonna try to get him. I'm hoping that it don't rain in Miami during the game time. Yeah, that's the thing about Miami. In Florida, it rains like crazy. Like, you just never know about the weather. So hopefully it doesn't rain this year. I wish you would think they would have a dome out there in Miami. But yeah, so what team do y'all think is gonna be the surprise team in the SWAC this year? Then when they get our children there on campus, they make sure they have their snowflake. Greedy committee right there. Hey, a lot of people don't believe that, but schools do that. They use girls to influence players, to choose their school. Like Florida State, they take their players to FAMU, so they can see FAMU girls. They used to do that back in the day, so they could choose Florida State. Well, so say, oh, it's going to rain. It's Miami. But yeah, they used to do that back in the day, man. They would use our girls in the SWAC to influence our players. Well, influence those players to pick Florida State. That's what they do. They do stuff like that. Bama State, Alabama State, surprise team. Oh, everybody think Alabama State is going to be a surprise team, huh? All right, got another call coming in. Hold on just a second, y'all. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
What's up, SWAC Buzz? This is Malachi.
What's going on, Malachi?
Not much. First off, I want to say, great. I'm a huge fan of your show and stuff. Appreciate everything you're doing for HBCUs, and also, I'm happy that Isaiah Landy is staying at FAMU. Real happy.
Yeah, I am too. That was one of the best news that we got today.
I mean, yeah, it really is and stuff. Especially we seeing, people switching, going, or what happened with the draft and stuff. And
yeah,
I mean, yeah, is it true that the safety? I don't want to mispronounce the name, but I'll just say Marquise Bell. If I'm wrong, don't crucify me in the comments and stuff. But yeah, he should have been drafted. To me, he should have went 4th round stuff. I remember watching the draft, and I literally, in the 7th round, I saw a safety from Yale get taken. I said, a safety from Yale? What the hell y'all got? Who's smoking? What y'all smoking in these offices?
Yeah, he should have went early. I just hate that these teams think they can get HBCU players on the cheap. We got to start calling them out on that, so they can stop. No, y'all aren't finna get our players on the cheap. Do them the honor of making them a draft pick. We need draft picks. We don't need, it's okay to sign undrafted free agents and stuff like that, but our most talented players need to be drafted. We're not taking that anymore. So I'm going to do my part. I'm definitely going to be going in and, making my little comments and stuff like that to, put pressure on these entities so they can stop doing it. That's all we got to do as fans. We got to start complaining about it. They read the comments on their social medias. So we got to start complaining, really voicing our opinions that, hey, y'all need to start drafting HBCU athletes. Stop doing all this undrafted free agent stuff. They're good enough to get drafted, draft them.
Yeah, and I so hardly, I agree. I really do agree. I'll tell you another person that I was surprised that didn't get drafted. 2 people, Antoine Owens and also Keontae Hampton.
Yeah, and Antoine Owens hadn't signed with anybody. I haven't seen him sign with anybody or anything, so I don't know what's going on.
Have you seen anything about Keontae Hampton?
No, I haven't seen anything about him either. So I'm not sure.
I'm surprised. I will say this though, the FAMU versus North Carolina, the first game. Everybody's saying it's gonna be a blowout. I'm gonna say this: if that Musa kid start, that game will be closer. That game will be closer, in my opinion, than what people would think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like North Carolina, it's a home game for them. They're gonna come in there cocky.
Yeah.
Cocky, always just HBCU. they got a few transfers, and that game gonna be a whole lot closer than what they expected.
I'm just hoping FAMU put up a good game because, you know, they're representing the SWAC when you play outside of the conference. You represent the SWAC, so your performance is how they're gonna look on the whole league. So I'm just hoping that those guys really put on, because you're auditioning for the NFL when you play those type of schools. When you play North Carolina, the NFL scouts, they're watching. They want to see how you're gonna go against that level of talent. So I hope they really put on.
That's true. I feel like, and this ain't a knock to Rashawn McKay, but I feel like if they had a different quarterback, really and truly, taller wide receivers, and they ain't a knock on their wide receivers and stuff, but we know they have short wide receivers. If they had a better quarterback or taller wide receivers last year when they played USF, if you go back and look at that game, people finna get mad at me, but they could have beat USF. That's just my opinion.
I think the SWAC is going to be really competitive. I want to see what Southern does against LSU. I'm hoping that they really put on a good game for them. I'm not expecting to win, but I just hope they're competitive. As long as you're competitive, you know, you don't want to go in there and get 50 ball by halftime. Like, that's not what you want.
That's true.
You know, you don't want that to happen, because that's going to make the whole SWAC look bad. So I'm just hoping those guys go in and really put on the show.
Yeah, and if Southern does have the best O-line like they claim, they better gash LSU front four, they front seven every chance they get.
Yeah, especially them boys trying to get drafted. Especially they trying to get drafted. Like, if you play on the O-line for Southern, you trying to get drafted. When y'all play LSU, you should be trying to pancake somebody every play. Like, every play.
Double team.
Yeah.
I don't care. Double. If it's a double team play, they D tackle. I don't care if they D tackle, pitting them up by their downhill and driving them right in the dirt. I don't care if they call a flag. Oh well, they Power 5. They can take it.
Yep. So yeah, they definitely need to have that mindset that we coming in here to put these boys on their back. So that's what they need to be doing.
Also, I'm gonna leave with this, and I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else get on the line. But I'm gonna say this: Mississippi Valley State is gonna shock a lot of people.
Yeah, everybody been saying that. Like, Coach Dancy is doing a great job down there. I like Valley. I think they're probably gonna be middle of the pack, but I think they're gonna beat some people that a lot of people didn't think they was gonna beat this year.
Yeah, and me too, especially being that they actually have the number one JUCO quarterback in the nation. But I'm gonna leave with this right here. This one thing. I want to see the SWAC conference add at least one or two more teams, and I want to see Jackson State get moved over, because to me, having Jackson State, who's a powerhouse, and before people get mad, they are FAMU powerhouse, Alabama A&M powerhouse, Alabama State, they've been doing great in recruiting, Mississippi Valley State, they great in recruiting. Having all those schools right there is too much power. There's too much power on that side. Somebody got to get moved.
Okay, well, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, I think Jackson State might stay in the East. I don't see them moving over. Cause you got Grambling, you got Southern. Well, you got Grambling and Alcorn on the other side. I don't think they're gonna move Jackson State over. You need Jackson State to stay in the East. Out of my mindset, Grambling will be the surprise. We'll see. One thing, I'm going to say this. I know some Graham fan might get mad at me for saying this, but I really hate that Hugh Jackson did that stuff with the NFL, because now you wonder, is it going to affect the players? Because y'all know how the NFL is. Y'all know how they are. Y'all know they like to, penalize you for speaking out and things like that. So I'm wondering, like, when his kids go out trying to get drafted, will they penalize him for, trying to speak out against the NFL and claiming that they pay him to throw games and stuff like that? So I'm hoping that doesn't hurt Grambling players. But I kind of hate that, he came out and did that. If you're going to do it, just go all the way, but hopefully that doesn't affect Grambling. Sorry to say Alabama A&M is going to beat JSU. By the time they play, Alabama A&M will have 4 losses and nothing to lose, playing just to get revenge by that time. So you think Alabama A&M, who got 50 ball last year, is going to beat Jackson State?
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
I think Southern will be the surprise team, not only in the West, but in the SWAC. Southern will be in the SWAC championship, bet me. A lot of people think Southern going to do something this year. I mean, Coach Dooley is a really good coach, so I could see them doing something, but I don't know. I think Grambling is going to win the West. Alabama A&M ain't beating them. They still got major holes to fill. Need some more recruits on the offensive line. As a fan of a team that plays 2 HBCUs this year, I have nothing but respect for these schools. What team are you a fan of, Rogue Zodiac? G-Dub says, I don't think Hugh Jackson comments will affect them. That had nothing to do with the athletes of Grambling. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it doesn't. But you know how some of these teams are. Playing for pride by that game, they will be dangerous. Okay, Willington Oaks. I don't know about all that. We'll see. Israel says 61-15. Okay, Austin P. Okay, yeah. Austin P. That's gonna be a good game. Grambling winning would not be a surprise to me. They have recruited well and have a great coaching staff. Yeah, Alabama. You know what? I like what Alabama State is doing on social media too. They put out a little video yesterday that was really nice. We need all the SWAC schools to be really taking social media serious like that. That's what we need all the schools to do. Bethune-Cookman, UAPB, we need them to step up their social media because I don't really see them do much on social media. What's good, SWAC was? It's been a minute. That's what we need as a people to call out the BS. Right. Phone lines are open, y'all. 657-390-4814. Make sure you hit that like button to get the stream out to more people. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Grambling needs to find a QB and get their scheme together. Oh, Hugh Jackson gonna have a QB. He's gonna get a QB that's gonna run his offense the way he wants it ran. I'm not even worried about that. But I think Jackson State is probably gonna be. It's gonna be Jackson State, FAMU, or Grambling is gonna be fighting for first place in the SWAC this year. G-Dub said, I hate Amisha got cut from Indiana. Yeah, man. I kind of seen that coming, though. I kind of seen it coming because they wasn't showing her a lot of attention on their website, on their social medias, and anything. Like, they already had Henny all over the website. That was crazy to me. Like, when you went to IndianaFever.com, the first thing you see was Henny, like, come up with the schedule. Like, they doing stuff like that, and she's a second-round pick. They promoted her more on their website than the first-round picks. So when you see stuff like that, you already know what's going on. And I think she went 2 or 13 the second preseason game. Amisha only played like 5 or 6 minutes. So they didn't play her the first preseason game, and then they only played her 6 minutes the second preseason game. So you already know what it is. It's politics. Stuff like that happens. That's just the way professional sports is sometimes. You know, usually the NBA, that last preseason game, they'll kind of let guys that they're probably going to cut, they'll let them play the whole game so they can really get looks for other teams. So I'm surprised they didn't do that. they didn't really let her play, to really let her get off so she can, if they cut her, she can go on to somebody else will pick her up. But she might just have to go overseas. That might just be what it is. What do you think about the quarterback that committed to JSU today? Oh, I love it. I mean, somebody's going to have to be there when Shedeur leaves. Shedeur only has 2 more seasons. So, some people saying Shedeur might stay his senior season. I don't think so. I think as soon as Shedeur is ready to go into the NFL draft, I think he's gone. I've always had a ton of respect for these schools. It's about time they get the recognition they deserve. Appreciate that. I hate them, but they are scrappy and have some intricate schemes at times. JSU is loaded this year through the year 2025. Yeah, JSU been doing some recruiting, man. As long as Coach Prime stays in the SWAC, which I don't think he's leaving. I think Coach Prime knows the mission, and I think he really wants to make change for HBCUs. So I don't think we have to even worry about him leaving anymore. Hopefully another team will pick her up. Yeah, I think she'll be all right. She might have to go overseas for a little while and play, but I think she'll be okay. But Bethune-Cookman, I think Bethune-Cookman and UAPB, they're probably going to be at the bottom this year. To me, it just seems like, I don't know, like, I don't understand. SWAC schools is not really putting a lot of energy into their social media. Like, you could pay a student to do that. You can let a student be, have work study where they run your social media. They'll do it. These kids are smart. They know how to run social media. They know how to post the pictures, the graphics. They know how to do all of that stuff. Get some of your students to run your social media and really get your brand out there. I don't understand why they're not really doing. They are one of the 2 teams in the SWAC that I don't really see doing much. Valley's not doing that much either. I want them to step their game up too. But we really need to embrace the social media game, because that's really going to put your brand out there for recruits to see and really get people to know your school. Women basketball players make more overseas. Yeah, and that's a shame. Like, why are overseas teams playing women's basketball more than America? That's crazy. I think they're going to hold Shedeur back for his senior season and let Travis Hunter enter the draft first. I mean, but they'll be entering the draft the same season if because Shedeur is 1 year ahead of Travis. So if Shedeur waits his senior season, he'll be entering the same time as Travis, because Travis is gone in 3 years. I believe that. Word on the street of South Carolina State have the dogs to beat Power 5s this year. We'll see. We will see. And then you have North Carolina A&T. They playing North Dakota State this year, so I want to see how that's going to shake out. I hope they really go in there and put on. You need a good backup in case he has an injury. Shedeur exactly had a shoulder injury during the end of the season. G-Dub says, I think Travis is graduating. That would be dope if he did, but if I'm a top 5 pick, I'm gone, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm gone. I'll take some online courses. I'll take some online courses and finish that degree. I'm finna make this bag, though. That's what I'm about to do. I said the phone lines are open, 657-390-4814. You want to talk about Isaiah Land, anything in the SWAC you want to talk about, get your opinion out. You can call in. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all tuning in. But yeah, another thing Coach Prime was talking about, he was talking about these kids getting these NIL deals, but you don't really see them on anything. He's like, my kids, you see them endorsing products. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, this NIL thing, man, it's just, they slide money under the table. Appreciate that, Miss Ivy, too. Where's Mr. Ford today? Yeah, Mr. Ford usually call in. He's probably busy right now. He's probably not on YouTube. But he'll call in. If he see me live, he's gonna call in. Trust. Mr. Ford's gonna call in. Mr. Ford loves to let people know what he thinks. And we love having Mr. Ford over here. That's my guy. Mr. Ford always giving up the game. I usually call before I do a show. I call them and let them know I'm going live. But today this is just kind of an impromptu show. I wasn't planning to be on long today, but I wanted to come on here and chop it up with y'all. I'm not gonna be on too long. Land need to get 2 to 3 sacks on UNC, then be looked at. Yeah, he really has to play well that game. I bet Land hit up Prime to see how he got James drafted. Prime can get him into the NFLPA Bowl. See, that's the thing I love about Coach Prime, that he's doing everything for other schools too. He's not just thinking about Jackson State, he's thinking about everybody. And so yeah, he can make some phone calls and things like that. Like, I really like that Felix Harper is getting his shot with the Cleveland Browns. I think that's going to be a real good look for him. Kill Glass in Tampa Bay is going to be very good. That's a very good look. You know, he's not going to take Tom Brady's spot or nothing like that. But I think him training under Tom Brady, I think he's going to make that squad. You know, I think once Tom Brady and the coaching staff at Tampa Bay see Kill Glass throwing the ball, you know, his footwork, they see that, you know, the way he plays, I think he's going to be great at Tampa Bay. He's going to be one of those guys that fly under the radar that's going to go on to have a good pro career. I'm a North Carolina A&T football bandwagon rider this season. Track and field been killing. I like their move to a more competitive conference. Yeah, I mean, North Carolina A&T was the standard. They was the standard for HBCUs, so they've been doing good. They actually the biggest HBCU. I think they got over 13,000 in enrollment. They probably got more than that this year. Probably got 14,000 now. Cheese Sandwich said ever since that old man called, Miss Ford hasn't been the same. Y'all, during that call, I was dying laughing over here during that call. I had to mute my mic because I was laughing because they was about to just get into it. And I was being messy. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was being messy. I put him online. I said, hold on, let me put Mr. Ford on. I was being messy. I wanted to see them go at it. Well, yeah, that was funny. I'm really pulling for CJ Holmes to make the Saints. Yeah, that would be awesome. They got Tyrann Mathieu now. I'm definitely getting a Matthew jersey. Y'all know I'm a Saints fan, so I love watching the Saints. It'll say, Swagbull, did you see the clip of JSU offense coordinator trying to figure out how to communicate to people on the football field while the Sonny Boom was playing? Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get used to those bands playing. They might need some microphones, like actually have headsets into the they probably have to have a microphone in Shadur's helmet so they can really communicate. Great news. Land really needs to bulk up. I could see them knocking him for his weight. I think, man, I don't know if his weight is a problem though, because that guy that got drafted from Georgia, he plays on the O-line, and he's a slim guy. So weight doesn't matter if you have the athleticism. Land has the athleticism, so I think he's gonna be all right. Jay White said, I'm a Lions fan. I'm glad we got James Houston. Are you really a Lions fan, or you just became a Lions fan? Because I don't see too many people talking about they Lions fans. You got to be a special person to be a Lions fan. You must be from Detroit. Mr. G said Mr. Ford was astute enough to take the high road. Yeah, Mr. Ford is great, man. I love having Mr. Ford on. Diamond said Mr. Ford did right by not entertaining that old man. Jay White said born and raised in Detroit. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I don't know too many people that just Lions fans. G-Dub said Barry Sanders ain't even a Lions fan. Many criticized JSU and Coach Prime for his social media presence, but look where that got us. Better take notes. Yeah, they can complain all they want to. Coach Prime gonna still do what he does because he knows it's working. Will Land be a junior? I think he has 2 more years of eligibility, so I think he's a junior this year. Yeah, I'm going to see Doctor Strange tonight, y'all. I like my Marvel movies, so I'm pumped to go see that. The OC is gonna be shocked when he witnesses JSU versus Southern at home. Oh, you talking about the crowd? Oh yeah, that's what they want to see. They didn't get a chance. Coach Prime didn't get a chance to see Southern versus Jackson State in Jackson. When he see that, but that Alcorn game was packed though, so they actually seen the vet packed, but it's gonna be really packed when Southern play Jackson State. I never missed that game. That's like my favorite game. Southern versus Jackson State in Jackson. It's like my favorite game. That's a can't miss game if y'all are trying to go to a SWAC game. Right, and Land asked Coach Brian for advice on Instagram. Okay. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe Coach Prime got in his ear and told him, hey man, you know, you don't need to do that. You don't have to jump to their schools to get to the NFL. You can go to the NFL right there for FAMU, be a legend. You know, be remembered at FAMU for, you know, being an NFL draft pick and really putting that program on the map. Because Marquise Bell gonna do it. That's what he gonna do. The difference is the lineman from Georgia was going up against future NFL players on national TV. That's true. That's true. But like I said, Isaiah Lamb, when they played UNC, he has to dominate. He has to show how skillful he is and how he needs to show his athleticism, and he just needs to dominate their offensive line. So he'll be all right. Been supporting the following Jackson State since Coach Prime got there. He really making a change. I'm glad JSU OC is recognizing how the boom can impact communication. It's better to work on it now so they won't have to keep adjusting for it in the fall. Yeah, because one thing about him, what it seemed like to me, they're going to be trying to get the ball out quick and put a lot of points up and go down the field a lot. So he's probably going to be doing a lot of talking to Shadur and the players. So he's definitely going to need to be able to hear. But he gonna have to get used to the boom because they be in there cranking. They be in the vet cranking. But yeah, if y'all just joined the show, we talked about Isaiah Land. We talked about Amisha Williams-Holiday. You know, she's no longer on the Indiana Fever. which is a sad thing, but you know, it happens. I think she's gonna be okay though. She's probably gonna go overseas and then work her way back into the WNBA. So we don't need to be down on it. You know, she did what she had to do. She got drafted from a HBCU. That's an incredible accomplishment. So we're just gonna keep rooting her on in her journey. I got another call coming in. Let me get this call, y'all. Hold on just a second. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC Buzz, how you doing, bro? This is Chris Topper calling from San Antonio, Texas again, brother.
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much. So I'm just now getting on YouTube, literally, man, literally 13 seconds ago, now 17 seconds, and I saw the title, Isaiah Land is staying at FAMU. Now, so he is going to stay.
Yeah, he's staying. Yeah, he announced that he's staying.
I cut you off. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I cut you off. I apologize.
He announced that he's staying on Twitter today.
Okay. All right. Well, again, man, I mean, I guess the universe was talking because that conversation that you and I had the other day and the other two brothers had called in, I had a conversation with my son the very next day. I said, son, you know, the power of HBCUs, but if some of these dads and moms don't know who the best players were in the NFL for those teams, and where they came from, of course, it's going to be all the propaganda with USC, Texas, Alabama, all that good stuff. Until you look at history of these teams and see that these guys did come out of, you know, HBCUs. Even that safety who played for the Dallas Cowboys. So, you know, SWAC Buzz. I mean, brother, I'm just glad the young man stands.
Yeah, I am too. Cause that would have hurt. That would have hurt us if he would have went to a Power 5. You know, and got drafted the first 2 rounds or something like that, because they would have sent a message to the other kids in the SWAC that that's what I need to do, and that's what we're trying to get away from. We want our kids to stay in the SWAC and be high draft picks in the NFL from a SWAC school. So I'm glad that he stayed. He's really being a leader right now, making that decision.
You know, what you just now said, I want to back those words up. You know, I look at some of these guys, the guys who were not drafted, right, SWAC Buzz? Mm-hmm. Look at Nate Newton, who wasn't drafted. You know, you and I both know he was the anchor to their great Dallas Cowboys offensive line.
Yep.
Look at Jimmy Smith, you know, receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I don't think he was drafted, or maybe the Cowboys drafted him later, but look at what he did. I mean, hell, look at 2022, this conversation right now. And I want everybody on this line to fact check me on this. The highest paid linebacker in the NFL today is their brother who played for the Colts, but he played college at South Carolina State.
Yep.
And if you look at the history of Bulldog football, they always barked and bite. They always did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what you're saying, SWAC, about these guys being early round picks. My thing is, as long as these brothers get inside the pros and produce and make it past their first contract, and take care of mom and dad and their cousin them, and have good careers and outstanding young black men in the community, and each one teach too.
Yeah, you kind of broke up at the end there. Can you repeat that?
What was the last thing you heard me say that was clear?
Yeah, like towards the end, you was just really breaking up. You could just finish your last point again for me.
I said, you know, you make a point about some of high draft picks. My case, SWAC Buzz, is whether they high draft picks, mid-round, late round, or free agents, as long as these young men make it to their second contract in the NFL, take care of themselves, take care of dad and mom, their cousin and them, and be upstanding young black men in the community, and each one teach you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. That's all they got to do is make it to their second contract. But I appreciate the call. I got another call. I'm going to get them. Thank you for the call.
Hey, before you do, SWAC, can I ask one quick question?
Go ahead.
On the real, as far as the locker room goes, he's coming back to FAMU. Do you think he'll be accepted with open arms, those guys knowing he wants to leave them?
Oh, yeah. He's going to, I mean, they're not going to be mad at him for that. But the fact that he's coming back, he's the leader of that team. So the fact that he's coming back, they're going to be happy to have him. I don't think there's going to be any animosity or anything like that. His teammates is probably the main reason that he's coming back. You know, they probably got in his ear like, hey, man, don't leave us. You know, stay with us. So I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Okay, that makes sense. Got you, brother. Hey, SWAC, brothers, thanks again, man. Appreciate your time, brother.
All right, thank you,
man.
All right. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, SWAC Buzz? How are you? This is Matthew from Minneapolis.
Hey, Matthew.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to talk about what the topic was this evening about Isaiah Land, and then I had two other questions, and one of them was for Mr. Ford, and one of them was for you.
Okay. Mr. Ford not on today, but you can ask me your question. Okay. He might come on a little later, but
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I think it's really good that Isaiah Land actually was able to stay. You're right. I think it's the old adage of grass is greener on the other side is not always true. So it's really, really good that he stayed for the conference and stayed to be a part of the movement that's going on in the SWAC. My question for you is, I want to talk about Jackson State football players that really don't get talked about a lot. And in particular, this time around, I want to talk about John Huggins and how I think, I think Cam is our best safety, but I think John Huggins is our most underrated player, just because how he played last year. And I think he played out of position last year. It's going to be very interesting to see him see him in a free safety slot right next to Cam. And so I'd like to know what do you think he's going to do this year, predictions. And then my question for Mr. Ford is, it's kind of two questions. I want to know, who does he think the MEAC needs to attract to stay viable? And if 3 HBCUs had a weekend in Minneapolis or they had a weekend in Chicago, right? And so what I'm like, and I'm thinking they play like PWI FCS. So for example, like Friday night you would do a late game. It would be like St. Thomas University versus Bethune-Cookman. And then like Saturday afternoon, there would be a marquee game, right? Another marquee, the first of 2 marquee games on Saturday would be you get like North Carolina A&T like versus NDSU. Instead of going to Fargo or instead of traveling to Greensboro, you would do it like at a neutral site like in Chicago or Minneapolis. But and then the third team would be, of course, like Jackson State versus like an NDSU or South Dakota State. Do you think a weekend like that can happen? And do you think, my question for Mr. Ford is, do you think a weekend like that would be better in a place like in a Midwest city like Chicago or Minneapolis? That's all I have for you, brother.
I mean, I think having games like that would be cool, but like Coach Prime said, he wants to have an all-star game where all the best HBCU athletes go against top players from other schools around the country, because that's gonna really show these NFL scouts what our players can do against top talent. So I think something like that will be more beneficial than these other games, because I mean, neutral site games are cool, but I think if you're really, your goal is to get your players drafted, I think having an all-star game like he suggested doing, I think that's the move.
Okay. Right. What you think John Huggins is gonna do? You have any predictions?
I mean, I like him. I think he's a good player. He came from the SEC. He came to Jackson State, and I think he's gonna be a good player. I think Cameron Silman, he's one of my favorite players on the team on the defense next to Nugget. So I actually like Cam better, but I think he's gonna be a good player.
Okay, absolutely.
But I appreciate the call.
All right. Yep. No problem.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Peace.
Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. All right. What y'all talking about? Carlos said, I'm all for an all-star game. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Say his name 3 consecutive times to miss 4 with a I wonder why Mr. Ford ain't on. Y'all want me to call Mr. Ford? I'm gonna call Mr. Ford and see what Mr. Ford is, and tell him y'all want him on the show. Let me call Mr. Ford real quick. Tomorrow Lee Sports said, "Oh yeah." I'm gonna call her. Hold on. I'm gonna put him on speakerphone. Diamond said, "Yes, call Mr. Ford. We pick up all American safety too. So if it's what's going on, Mr. Ford?"
Hey, you on tonight?
Yeah, I'm live on the air. They asking about you. They like, "What Mr. Ford at?"
Okay, I'm gonna get on.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Ford about to call y'all. Hey, SB, don't y'all overlook Alcorn. I think you would be surprised. Alcorn, I mean, they gonna do all right. Alcorn, okay. I think they're gonna be middle of the pack this year. I don't think Alcorn's gonna make too much noise. They had a lot of problems this year, so I don't know. I don't see them winning this year. Mr. G said he was taking a power nap. Laquan, the MEAC dying, they managed to keep winning Celebration Bowl. What does that say about the SWAC? Oh, Laquan came in with the smoke. Hold up now. Hold up now, Laquan. She came in shooting the shot. Miss Ivy too said, "Hallelujah, Mr. Ford is calling in." Yeah, we love Mr. Ford over here. I'm a little water by Alcorn. I think they gonna take a slide for a couple of them. It ain't really nothing we can say in the SWAC about those Celebration Bowl because the MEAC has one. We ain't one but one, so we kind of have to shut up when they say something about the Celebration Bowl. Oh. Make sure y'all follow Tomorrow Leader Sports Network too. He does great videos. Make sure y'all follow him if y'all not subscribed to him yet. Israel said, "Boy, those shot fire brought back some trauma." Warfield said, "Okay, that gun made me spill my drink." Oh, I got the sound effects over here, y'all. I got a lot of sound effects going on over here. I just barely use them because sometimes I forget to use them. All right. Hold on, y'all. I think this is Mr. Ford calling. Hold on. Oh, no, it ain't. What's going on, caller? You live. Talk to me.
Hey, SWAC Buzz. It's Chris again from San Antonio. I got a quick question for you, brother.
Go ahead.
Do you believe, since Nugget did what he did, do you believe there will be a movement also for HBCU players just heading directly to the CFL?
You said Nugget did to the CFL? Oh, you mean Warren Newman?
Yeah, so he signed that contract with the Alouettes.
Yeah.
This was going on in America as far as these big time, 4 stars saying, going to HBCUs. Do you believe since Nugget did that, because we know that he could have got an NFL contract somewhere, right? By him doing that, do you believe that there would be a major shiftment in HBCU players going?
So hold on, Dejon Warren is Nugget. Warren Newman is the player that went to the CFL. So that's why I was trying to understand what you were saying. So Dejon Warren, who is Nugget, nickname is Nugget, he's still on the team.
My bad. Which one's number 10? Is this one going to NFL?
Warren Newman.
Yeah, my bad. I got him confused. My bad. Yeah. Thanks, White. But you get my question.
Yeah, I think he was undersized, so a lot of teams probably looked at him like, oh, he's not big enough. But I think once he goes to the CFL and he shows that he can be a return specialist, I think he'll get a chance in the NFL. So you're gonna have the XFL next year that's opening up. They're doing a showcase for HBCUs. So I think you're gonna see a lot of players take that route if they're not getting the the scouting profile that they think they deserve when it comes time for the draft.
Okay.
I think the SFL is going to be a good thing to do.
So you kind of do see that shift going, like, let's just go straight to XFL. Let's go straight to the CFL if we could. And if the NFL call, cool. If they don't, we ain't sweating it.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a way to make money. You're going to make $100,000. Who wouldn't want to make $150,000 to play football? Professional.
Right.
So
right.
So I don't blame them. Like if their name is not hot for like the NFL draft, I don't blame them. Taking that chance overseas or going to the XFL or the USFL.
Gotcha. Thanks again, SB.
All right, thank you. There has been plenty of college players that went to the CFL like Warren and came back to the NFL to finish out their career. Yeah, I'm hoping that's what happens with him. He's a return specialist, and those are needed in the NFL. But I think the knock against him, because the only knock I could see against him was that he was undersized. He was 5'8", so I could see that being the only knock against him because he was a great player. All right, I think this is Mr. Ford calling. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, this is Mr. Ford. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I just
hold on, Mr.
y'all talking about Warren Newman.
Hold on, Mr. Ford. Turn the stream off in the background because it's gonna loop back.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
Now, where y'all come in about Warren Newman?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, he will get a chance in the NFL, and the reason is, the special teams. So many people get hurt. I mean, people don't know special teams is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think that he'll probably hone his skills up in Canada, but in maybe a couple of years, he'll be back in the NFL because they're always looking for punt returners. They're always looking for kickoff returners. And I didn't think he was that bad of a wide receiver. Personally, I thought he was underutilized.
Yeah, I thought he was really good too.
He
would drop passes every now and then, but I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I did too. I liked his moves. The game I thought that he should have been utilized more was the game that Jackson lost when they lost to University of Louisiana at Monroe. I thought he should have been utilized a bit more. I didn't think they had an answer or that could match up with his punt returning. And I just thought he could have been used more. I really did.
What do you think about Isaiah Land staying at FAMU?
Man, listen, I got to give Mr. Campbell credit. He told me that he was going to stay, but I felt sure when I saw that LSU, Georgia offer, I saw University of Miami offered, Central Florida, I just knew he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was gone, but man, woo, that's major. Because I think it's going to, that battle in Miami, Labor Day weekend between Jackson and FAMU is going to be epic.
Yeah.
That's going to be a knockdown, drag out, what these call cats and dogs.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one.
That's going to be a major battle, man.
I can't wait to see that one.
That's going to be a major battle.
And I know you heard about Amisha Williams getting cut from the WNBA. What you think about that?
Ooh, that's kind of surprising. Did they say why, or what was the problem?
To me, it just seemed like they drafted like 5 rookies. So I kind of feel like that's what they was gonna do. They were just gonna roll with those 5 rookies and then bring the other players back. She's very talented. I mean, she's a great rebounder and she's great on defense. So they could use her.
She was a beast under that board. I think possibly she will catch on with somebody else. Now, as far as money is concerned, the European countries pay far more than what they make in that WNBA.
Yep.
So I probably can. Well, I would have said I could see her in Russia, but with what's going on over there, no. But maybe in one of the Western European countries, I could see her like in a Spain or Portugal, maybe France. Yeah, I could see her catching on if she wants to pursue that.
Yeah, when I seen Elena Coates, that's the other center for Indiana Fever. When I seen that she was coming on the team, I was like, oh man, it's not looking good, because I didn't think they was gonna keep 3 bigs, because they got that girl Queen Ebo, and she's awesome. Like, she's been doing double doubles for both preseason games. So she's a great player. So she's probably gonna be the starter, and she's a rookie. And then they got the Atlanta Coast girl that came from overseas, so she's probably gonna be the backup. So I knew it just wasn't no room for Amisha, but I think she's gonna be all right. She'll be fine.
Yeah. Like I said, I hope that if she can catch on with another team in the WNBA, but I hope also that she will get a chance to play maybe overseas in Europe, or I think they do women's professional sports in Israel, and I don't know too much about it in South America. I know at one time they had there were they had a men's professional league down in Latin America, but I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, and they was playing. I hope they was paying Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, she went over to Russia because they was paying her over $1 million to play. That's why she stuck over there.
Yeah.
And
I think Tarazi played over in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Sue Bird played in Russia. Now I don't know about the young lady that was from University of Tennessee. She led Chicago to the championship. What's her name? I can't think of her name.
I know you're talking about.
She's an analyst for ESPN.
Yeah.
I think for.
I can't remember her name. I can't think of her name
either. But I think she might have been in Russia or somewhere in Europe, and I think that she was making well over $1 million too.
She's one of the most popular WNBA players too, so I don't know why I can't. Candace Parker. Yeah. Somebody put it in.
Candace Parker. That's right. Candace Parker. Yeah, Candace. I don't know if she was in Europe. I know she was in Europe, but I don't know if she was in Russia or not. But I think she was somewhere, maybe in Russia, but I'm not sure. But guys, we can rule out this thing with Russia, because that's all warfare now, and what they doing over there right now.
But at least they giving her her whole salary, so they're still gonna pay her for every game. So that's good.
Yeah, I hope she can catch on with somebody. Or, like I said, I'm quite sure that they got a plan, and she's got a publicist and got an agent, and they putting something together, because she can play.
Yeah,
she can play.
Mr. Ford, let me put you on hold real quick. I got a call. And let me get them. Hold on. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, SWAC boy? This AO calling from Houston, Texas, man. How you doing?
What's going on out there in Houston?
Everything all right, man. I'm originated from Fort Lauderdale, but then I moved out here to Houston. But yeah, man, I was listening to you guys on the show. And by the way, I played black college football, so I played in the MEAC.
Okay.
Back in 2004. And I went free agent with the Buffalo Bills. So everything that you're talking about, I can really relate to the conversation.
How long did you play for the Buffalo Bills?
I was there only one season, then I got released.
Oh, okay.
I got released the next year. Yeah, I got released the next year. But
so take us inside that process. Like, so once you sign on as a free agent, you go to training camp, and so you really have to compete and stand out in training camp, or they could just send you home, even after you sign a contract.
Well, this let me tell you my situation. I was a defensive back. I played cornerback, and I returned punt kick. But I led the whole MEAC in punt return and kickoff return. Mm-hmm. So when I went free agent, I was coming in as a return specialist. So they wasn't going to have me play defensive back. I was going to play special teams, return kick, return punt. So there was a guy by the name of Daylight that was there who they drafted Well, actually, let's take it back. Roscoe Perry. The reason I got released, we didn't have a first-round pick because they traded that away. But we drafted Roscoe Perry. He played the same thing I do. He was a return specialist, a wide receiver, plus he was an All-American coming out of the University of Miami. You know what I'm saying? So that right there what brought me of getting released because they wanted him to return the punt and the kickoff. You see what I'm saying? So I ended up getting let go and replacing him because he was our first pick in the second round.
So when a player gets released, is it very hard for a player to get back in? Is it hard to get back in?
Well, it all depends on your agent.
Okay.
See, my agent, the way I got in Buffalo, my agent knew somebody, so he worked out a deal, and they brought me in the training camp, and that's how I ended up getting my foot in the door. But let me show you what Deion Sanders, how he changed the whole game plan of HBCU football. Normally, when we have a pro day, we normally have 1 or 2 scouts at our pro day. When Deion was stressing, you need all 32 teams to come there to get an eye, so you can look at the players. That's really big. Normally, because I was in Virginia, because I went to Norfolk State, normally we'll have to go to Virginia Tech or Virginia or anybody that had a big-time player that was coming out and all the scouts was going to go see them, we would have to try to go join their pro day so that we could get all 32 teams to look at them.
Yeah.
When I was at Norfolk State, we only had 2 scouts. We had Cleveland Brown, and then you got to think, it's all those regions, how the scouts come out. So if they in your region, then they're going to come out and scout players. But if there's a household name player that they definitely have to go look at, then all the teams going to flood there to go see that particular player. So you will have to try to jump into that pro day and try to get looked. Like how Deion had Alcorn State and all them other schools come to his pro day.
Yeah.
You notice how those guys got a good look, and some of them guys got free agent contracts.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, normally with the free agent contracts, they normally would give them to a Power 5 players to balance out their rosters.
Yeah.
A couple of guys out of the HBC would get those because you got to really stand out. So everyone won't get those. That's why I say it's really big what he did. A lot of those guys wouldn't get those free agent contracts. It'd be a few. And if you got drafted, then you got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see how many guys in SWAC football got free agent contracts? That's really big. But guess what? If they get in camp and perform, the scouts are going to come back to the SWAC. Now they're going to take a real hard look at those players that they scouted for junior day. Because you got to think, when I was coming out, they didn't do junior day. They only came and scouted the players that were seniors, and that was it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't have a chance to come to junior day, do a pro day, scouts come back and write down your information. And they're like, okay, we're going to check this kid out. We're going to come back and look at this kid. That's like that kid at FAMU that I want to talk about with him transferring. It's a good thing that he stayed because he already noticed. You see what I mean? See, if you go to another Power 5, guess what? Guess what's going to happen? You got to fight for a position, okay? Just like that kid that left Jackson State and went to Michigan. You see, he went free agent.
Yeah.
You see, his production wasn't the same if he would stayed at Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think, you got to compete with reps, and you got to compete with guys that's already there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Let me tell you something. The guys in the NFL, what you see on TV, guys be getting beat, those guys are really good, man.
Yeah.
When I mean really good, really good. You see what I'm saying? Because they're playing against other great players. You see what I mean? So that's why I say we still have to schedule at least one legit school. Because you say, oh, we're HBC, but guess what? Those guys that's in the NFL is really good. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't let the television and stuff fool you by, oh, man, he's sorry. Those guys are not sorry because they can come out in the street and dog any average football player. You see what I mean? But they're going against other professionals. So those guys are really good. I thought the same thing when I went in camp. I'm like, man, all these guys are good. They're fast, they're bigger, they're stronger. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they all hungry.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But I don't want to get off topic, but you know what I'm saying? I just want to give you an input on, the little stuff that I know.
Okay.
About, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate the
And
call.
then another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
You want me to continue on? Or
Yeah,
you,
make your last point. I don't want to leave Mr. Ford on hold too long. Make your last point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then my last point is with the balance of football. If you notice that these guys that leave in Power 5 and transfer into the SWAC and into the MEAC, those players will transfer into a Power 5 or to a better school. Those players wouldn't come to the SWAC. Only way they come to the SWAC unless they got in some trouble, got kicked out, and they had no other option, then they'll go to that school.
Yeah.
Most of the time they will go to those schools so they can get a look because they all think if I go to HBC, I can't get to the NFL. That's why I was saying the balance of football in the SWAC is really going to be good because you got to think. If you never went to an HBC football game, most of the time the fans are going to come to the game, the first half, when the band plays, watch the band, and then they're going to go out and socialize with friends or frats and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody will not be into the game because the quality of football wouldn't be all up apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look at it, it'd be something like watching a high school football game. But now, that's not going to be the case no more. You know what I'm saying? Because people really going to come into the SWAC and really pay attention to the football now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You went to a HBC, so you know it's like a social gathering, going to the football game.
Mm-hmm.
And now the games is going to be more exciting to watch because you got good quality football players there. You see what I mean? So it balances out the whole landscape. You see what I mean? Because every school is going to have good football play. You see what I mean? So the competition level just rose up. What Dion just did. You see what I mean? He balanced the playing field. You know what I'm saying? Even though Jackson State still got the best players, player for player, I still think they got the better player in the SWAC. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though their offensive line might be a little shaky, but guess what? Dion, he will, like how he hit on that defense with players and people talking about, well, James Houston, you got to think. James Houston wasn't a big-time player coming out of Florida. You see what I mean? They developed him when he came to Jackson State. So you got to take that to full account. Even though he played at Florida, if he'd have stayed at Florida, he probably would have never got drafted. You see what I mean? You seen the production went up when he came to Jackson State. And you got to think, Dion running your camp like an NFL system. You see what I mean? When y'all talking about, well, guys leaving and transferring and this and this and this, he's running it like an NFL camp. You know what I'm saying? If you can't learn the playbook, if you busting plays, you busting assignments, they get you up out of there. You see what I mean? So when you come there, you got to be on point, because that's just how it is in NFL camp. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got time to develop. You should already know your stuff. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got time to do such and such. And that's the way Dion running his program. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those players that will come to his system, they go to the NFL, that they already have a step ready and prepared, because he prepared them in the right step. Because I already seen how he runs his program. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know.
But I appreciate the call.
He stays on.
I don't want to keep Mr. Ford on hold too long, so I appreciate the call. So just keep on watching and call in next time. I thank you for the call.
All right. You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Ford.
Hey, listen,
Hey.
I kind of wanted to question him.
Oh,
He went
okay.
to Norfolk. I wanted to know who was his head coach.
Oh, my
Who was
bad.
his head coach at Norfolk? If
He can
you
put it in
hear
chat.
If you can put it in the chat. And the other thing, I want to know, what high school did you come out of in Miami?
I should have connected the calls. My bad. I'll do that next time.
Yeah,
It's all
I need
good.
to know. And the other thing was, he said the guy's name was Roscoe Perry. Is
Yeah.
he sure? Was it Roscoe Parrish? Was it Roscoe Parrish or was it Roscoe Perry? Because I remember Roscoe Parrish. He was something else, man. He was electrifying. But I'd like to ask him, was that guy's name Roscoe Parrish or was it Roscoe Perry? Because I remember Roscoe Parrish now, out of the University of Miami. I remember he was exciting. He was, man.
He said Parrish.
Yeah, he was. Parrish, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Parrish. Oh, yeah, Parrish was electrifying. Now, that was another young man who originally went with the Chicago Bears. Man, he might have been one of the greatest punt returners ever. He eventually came to The Atlanta Falcons. I can't think of his name. What was his name?
Devin Hester.
Devin Hester. Let me tell you something. As a punt returner, kickoff returner, that guy should go in the Hall of Fame, college and pro.
Yeah.
He was a game changer. Now Roscoe was probably a step behind, but that Devin Hester, he's one of the greatest ever. He's like Dion. He was like Dion. He was electrifying.
Oh yeah, he was great. Appreciate that. Appreciate the donation, Granny. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Y'all got any questions for Mr. Ford? I'm gonna end the stream in a minute. Y'all got any other questions for him? Anything else you want to talk about, Mr. Ford?
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that guy. I thought sure he was going to leave, but Mr. Campbell kept saying it. It was just talk. He wasn't going to leave. Man, I know them people at FAMU because they really, they love that guy, man. I think it's going to be a historic year for FAMU this year. I really do. I think it's going to be a historic year for them. I said this over and over. They got the quarterback now. Now, I don't know if they're going to play politics with him or what, but that kid from Vanderbilt is the truth. That Musa kid is the truth. I don't know. He's the best. Well, he's probably the best quarterback they've had since probably that transfer they had from Kentucky, Curtis Pulley. He's the best they had, and they totally underdeveloped Curtis Pulley. They did nothing for him. That was under Coach Joe Taylor.
I got another call. I'm gonna add this call though, Mr. Ford. I ain't gonna put you on hold this time. I'm gonna add this call.
Okay.
All right, call you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, man? Thank you for taking my call. This is LJ, man. Man, I really enjoy your show, man. You knowledgeable, Mr. Ford knowledgeable, and you have some of the greatest panelists and people call in, man. They real got a great perspective, man, and I really appreciate it and enjoy your show, man.
Thank you.
I was wanting to talk about the player land, and I also got a question for you and Mr. Ford at the end, but I'm glad, for exposure for HBCUs that the young man has came back, but I'm be honest with you, either way it go, I wouldn't have, faulted the young man however it goes, because like I said, it was just a travesty that Marquise Bell was not drafted, and not only drafted, but drafted at least the second or third round. It was like, in that young man's mind, he probably said, what's the purpose of 29 out of 32 scouts coming in? And they brought that young man in multiple times, some teams did, and nobody, basically they just treated him like garbage and then gonna pick him up on scraps. Mm-hmm. And so I know that basically probably, scared the young man. So I don't blame him whichever decision he made, because, he's just trying to do what's the best of his opportunity, especially when that he puts his pads on just like a guy from the Power 5. And he's like, hey, I can line up and hit just like the guy from the Power 5 school. So either way it go, I wouldn't have blamed him. And also, I was going to ask y'all, first of all, did the wide receiver from Southern McLean, did he get a invite or a unrestricted free agent contract?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I can look what school that he went to. Hold on.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask you and Mr. Ford, y'all predictions on the SWAC, because this is my thing, my perspective.
He went to the Jets.
I believe nobody's going to finish undefeated. I believe that even if Jackson State wins the SWAC, it's going to be like a South Carolina State record last year, where it's going to be like 75 or 76, or if anything, it'll be like 8 wins, because it's going to be a grueling schedule. Because I feel like this first year, Grambling is going to be like a hit and miss. FAMU's coming strong. You got Alabama State. You got Alabama A&M. I do believe Valley is going to upset 2 people this year as well. So I just wanted to ask y'all, what y'all think the record's going to be. And the next thing, like I said, I'm going to keep pushing this. I just hope all the HBCUs just make a Power 4 bowl. Just make a Power 4 bowl. But like I said, man, I just want to listen in and see what y'all prediction is. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you. It's for you got in response to that?
Yeah, no, I can't do actually the records, but let me tell you something. The East, which to me is the most powerful part of the SWAC, that Jackson, FAM, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman, FAMU, that's the strongest part of the SWAC. That's going to be grueling, okay? But now on the west side, it has come up with Southern, to see Prairie View, but now this is what I can tell you about Prairie View. They got some players down there, okay? Coach Dooley left some players down there. And that's another thing. I'm waiting to see what that Dumas kid is. Is anybody saying anything what the Dumas kid is going to do? Because that boy is a game changer. Anybody say where he's going yet?
Yeah, he's still in the transfer portal. Somebody said they hope that he goes to Southern.
I was wondering if he's going to just go to Southern with Coach Dooley and those. Because, man, he's a game changer now. You got a good point there about nobody possibly being undefeated this year. Because let me tell you something. I looked at all them schedules, and I'm telling you, most of these teams, some of them got them tough out-of-conference games, but then it's going to be such tough in-conference games, okay? Because let me tell you, when you got to go down there to A.W. Mumford, that's going to be rough. When you go to the Hole at Grambling, that's going to be rough. When you come to the Vet in Jackson, Mississippi, that's going to be rough. When you go up here to Huntsville, Alabama, that's going to be rough. I think that, and I'll tell everybody this, the sleeping giant to me is Alabama State. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do. The talent is there.
Yeah.
The main thing I'm looking at is what they're going to do on their offense. Because I'm telling you, I've talked to 1 million people about that kid that transferred from Auburn that's coming in from Texas, and they said they are comparing that kid to Kyler Murray. So I'm waiting to see what is Alabama State going to do with all this, with this talent that they. I don't know if y'all been noticing the last 2 weeks they got some talent coming in.
Yeah, I've been seeing.
And you already know what
they got
Alabama
a couple of
A&M has up there.
They got a couple of 4-star guys and a bunch of 3-star guys.
Yeah, they got some kids. But the main, what everybody's saying is that the faith. We got to have people. Listen, if we're going to get these super athletes coming from these Power 5 schools, we got to upgrade our coaching. We got to have better offensive line play. We got to have better offensive calling, play calling. We got to do this, and not just at some schools, all of them. They announced the other day, this school year, there have been 2,000 kids in the transfer portal. That means that we have no excuse for not having super talent at all of these SWAC schools. You got 2,000 kids in the transfer portal? Listen, I'm going to say this and I'm going to let you have it, SWAC. What we need to do at the SWAC schools and at the MEAC schools, we need to have a coach who only watches the transfer portal. That's all he does, just watch the transfer portal. But I'm going to say this. This year in the SWAC is going to be epic. I just believe that first game, that game down there Labor Day, that Orange Blossom Classic, man, that's going to be awesome. Only thing I'm hoping, I just don't want any of them FAMU kids to get hurt playing University of North Carolina up at Chapel Hill. I don't want anybody. I'm praying that nobody get hurt. Because, man, let me tell you something. That Orange Blossom Classic, that Jackson State versus FAMU, that Orange Blossom Classic, that's like a black Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's like a black Super Bowl. You're going to have everything. You're going to have all kind of great athletes. You're going to have big-time coaching. You're going to have two of the best bands in the country. You're going to have at least 50,000 people in the stands. You're going to be in one of the top tourist cities in America, Miami. What else do you want?
Yeah.
It's really like a black college Super Bowl.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the marquee game of the SWAC, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just glad Isaiah Land decided to stay, so we won't have that hanging over our head when the season starts.
Matter of fact, you just telling me, I didn't know it. I'm glad to hear this too, man. He's actually from Atlanta. He's from he came here from, I think, from Buffalo, New York. He was at that powerhouse school out there called Grayson, and I think FAM was really one of the only people that offered him.
Hold on, what is James talking about? What's up with you in Africa? What I don't see is African sounding names in the SWAC. Okay. Don't worry about
What I
that.
don't see is African sounding. Let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all noticing this, but we have a lot of players who, if they're not from Africa, their parents are from Africa. They got drafted. Okay, I remember. Y'all, I know everybody remembers the Nigerian nightmare and all of that. But you know what? He has a point right there. I wish that the black colleges, not only for football but for basketball, I wish we would recruit African kids more. You know that the one kid everybody was pulling for, he signed with Howard. He was a 7-footer. I want to say his name was Maker or Marker.
Yeah.
But I think he got hurt, and somebody told me that he's down in Australia playing professional ball. But I would like to see the black colleges recruit football, basketball, track and field players from Africa. And I'm going to say it again, Europe too.
Yeah.
I'd like to see us follow the same pattern that school out there in Washington called Gonzaga's doing.
But,
you know, they recruiting a lot of foreign players.
Yeah, but some people would say like they don't have the budget for that. You think the SWAC has the budget to recruit internationally like that? Or they may just have to use social media. They may have to do it through social media.
Yeah, because like you said, listen, social media, what's that thing called? The IG, Facebook, all that stuff is in Africa. It's in China. Yeah, we can recruit through that. That's why everybody in America knows about Jackson State's program. Nobody is using social media really better than Jackson State. Jackson State is probably number one in social media.
Yeah.
It's probably number one.
Yeah, they killing it.
I'm talking about even the Power 5 schools. No, I mean, that's one thing that Jackson State is number one in, is that their use of the social media, nobody can touch them.
You see Power 5 schools trying to mimic what Jackson State has been doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know if I think I told you one night, you know, up in Atlanta right now, we got white folk walking around with Jackson State paraphernalia on. Okay, didn't they get that from social media?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have white people stop me when I'm having my hoodie on. I have a Jackson State hoodie on or something. They'll stop me and want to talk about Jackson State.
Right here, Miss Lynn, usually the Power 5 schools, they do pay for the 100 to come to those schools. Like they brought the 100 one year. I think they took them up to Ohio State and some other places. Because they, you know, one thing about the Power 5 that they can't touch with us is our bands, and they love our bands.
Yeah.
They love our bands, okay? And so anytime they get a chance, they not only pay the football team to come, but they also usually pay for the band to come. Because they've never seen, you know, one thing our bands do that they can't do is that they dance, they play, and they sound good. And they playing the latest hits. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't do that, okay? Matter of fact, when you watch Southern Cal and you watch Ohio State and those people, they're actually trying to steal moves from those HBCU bands out of the SWAC.
Yeah. Sound like you got a call over there, Mr. Ford. Well, I'm going to go and cut the stream. I appreciate you calling in on the show.
Okay. You have a good one now. Let me know anytime you need me to come on.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ford.
Okay. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, y'all, that's the show for tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel yet. Y'all know I cover swag content over here, so we always come on here and vibe. So, yeah, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. I'll be going live probably sometime this weekend. I'll go live again, and we'll do some more talking about the swag. So, y'all let me know what y'all want me to talk about in the next video. Y'all send me an email. Y'all know my email and IG, Twitter. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter too. I'm on Twitter at SWACBuzz. I'm on IG at SWACBuzz. I'm gonna start being a little bit more active on IG. I haven't been really active on. I'm always active on Twitter. So if y'all on Twitter, make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. I'm active every day. I'm always posting and commenting on Twitter every day. But anyway, I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm gone.